Scientific Wrestling Edition. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Man, I had a killer week. I've been so busy. I'm sorry for being gone so much, but we just kicked off the Weaponized Wrestling Accelerator Camp Tour, the Science of Violence Tour for Scientific Wrestling. Kicked it off with none other than King Mo Law, Risen champ, Bellator champ, U.S. Senior Nationals Freestyle Wrestling champion, Real Pro Wrestling champion. Amazing, dude. If you were in the room, you know how sick it was. King Mo, seamless, perfect fit for the Scientific Wrestling brand. High energy, nothing but weaponized wrestling. Blew everybody's minds. We had a great camp. I can't tell you. I love it. So we got King Mo for 2 more camps. Be sure to show up, man. Show up. Okay? You want to go, let's see right here. Yep. You want to go and get in there with King Mo? We've got him in Louisiana, Lake Charles, which is drivable from Houston. We've also got him in Norman, Oklahoma at the Coliseum. In Lake Charles, it's going to be Silverback MMA. And then in Lake Charles, or in Norman, Oklahoma, it's going to be the Coliseum MMA. Get in there. CertifiedCatchWrestler.com, CoachingCatch.com. These are going to be, they're truly life-changing. I guarantee it, man. This is like the number one thing I always hear from people is like how mind-blown people were when they came to camp. So get there. Other news update, we've got 2 new affiliates onboarding this month. We've got South Carolina at the end of the month. Super excited. Tomorrow, bringing on Hawaii. So the ink isn't dry yet, but as soon as all that triggers, I will be revealing their names. We just added Scientific Wrestling Virginia out in Richmond at Mongrel MMA. So guys, get out there, get training, learn with the best, and just have fun, man. The greatest thing about wrestling is that it is the best in personal development, man. There's no lying about it. You get beat, you have a bad day, you figure things out. Oh, man, I need to get more rest. I need to eat better. I need to study more on my game. It's just instant feedback, and it's not emotional. I think a lot of, the thing is, man, I'm going to be real. I know that there's like a testosterone collapse happening in our society. Oh, I had a great talk yesterday with Pat Miletich too. So cool. Like, dude, that guy's a legend, man. Anyway, I understand the younger people having a hard time with, the lack of testosterone that's happening because maybe the microplastics or some of the foods that we're eating or whatnot. I'm telling you, you guys have to take charge of your lives. Okay? You have to take charge of your lives. Dial in your fitness. Stop drinking water out of plastic bottles. Like, exercise, take cold showers. There's ways to blow up your testosterone. If you take an ice bath or even splash cold water, hold it in a bowl and do it for 30 seconds, it spikes your testosterone. Do it before you work out. Now, real briefly, I just wanted to touch base. I'm not going to be here for very long. You guys got it. Anything in the chat, throw it up, man. I'm here. I'll answer it. I'll throw you on the screen. Anything you want to know. But I wanted to talk really quickly about this concept that I've been pushing recently, weaponized wrestling, right? And I want to talk about Scientific Wrestling's 2-decade-long integration of not just catch as catch can, clearly Carl Gotch, Billy Robinson, but also American Folkstyle, and particularly Folkstyle, Wade Chalice, as well as the Greco-Roman, as well as the things that we've learned from jiu-jitsu. So, you hear with Scientific Wrestling, people associate with Scientific Wrestling. I've really asked people to push forward this idea of hybrid grappling. And the idea is that, also the idea of grappling literacy. And really what I'm trying to get people to do is understand that there is a whole world out there of fantastic technique. And not just the modern technique. You can go back hundreds of years. I mean, we're lucky, if you go to fightinglibrary.com, which was my first work in this field, putting together all these great old books with the documentation, right? But what is scientific wrestling? What are we doing? I've made this case so many times that we are the legacy holders for Gotch and Robinson. Okay, there's no doubt about it. We're the only people that really got the endorsement, the rub from them. Anybody else claiming that is, I'd ask for proof of it. Anyway, we have to remain relevant, though, right? It's because some of the old moves may not work the same. Like an old catch wrestling leg dive has been changed now to the whole change a level and shoot concept. It doesn't mean that the leg dive won't work, but I'm going to be real. A lot of these modern athletes, they've got a lot of information to improve them, right? So I've talked at length at how catch wrestling was so impactful, and we've really tried to be the holders of the flame to keep it at a high level of integrity and only really put out the best and only have them represent themselves as much as they can, meaning Gotch and Robinson and Dick Cardinal and Fujiwara and these other guys. But we've still got to keep it relevant. And that's what I've tried to do. For years, for 2 decades, I was knocking on the door of jiu-jitsu, and I don't blame them. I mean, if they were trying to sell me jiu-jitsu, I wouldn't want to buy it. And they don't want to buy wrestling, which is okay. So I shifted and I realized, okay, so catch wrestling is the most impactful combat sport, possibly I'd even argue sport in the world. If you quantitatively look at the number of athletes, fans, coaches, and people in the business, promoters and stuff that have been impacted by it. So if that's true, because not only catch wrestling, which was the biggest sport in the turn of the 20th century, from the 19th, 20th century, number of athletes, coaches, promoters, blah, blah, blah. That's catch can alone. Then and then it died down, but then pro wrestling, which is a direct, it actually mimics catch wrestling, even though it's theatrical, but it mimics catch. There's no doubt about it. Pin or submit, like they say it on WWE all the time, AEW all the time, on these big promotions. Then you got Olympic wrestling, scholastic wrestling, and then I've made the case that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is derivative of catch can. Luta Libre. Like, it's a lot. Even Krav Maga, Emi Lichtenfield, or what was his name? Emi, was a wrestler, and his dad was a carnival wrestler. Direct connection to catch can. Massively impactful, right? But we've got to keep it relevant. And, Folkstyle has really proven to be the greatest form of as Jocko Willink says, the greatest predictor of champions in MMA is a background in Folkstyle, which is, I'm going to be honest with you, a neutered version of catch wrestling, meaning neutered because it's not the weaponized wrestling. And that's what I'm trying to say. I want to weaponize wrestling. I want to put the submissions back into Folkstyle. I want to say, Folkstyle, we love you. You are us. Let's just show you these setups from cradles, Nelsons, instead of from the missionary position or the guard or whatever, right? So my best way of doing this was not to go to jiu-jitsu or martial arts. We had to go into combat sports. That's why so many of our affiliates have Muay Thai, because it's a combat sport. You don't get belts in Muay Thai. I know there's people retrofitting it, and there's people doing that in wrestling too, but I'm speaking generally. So the case, again, for considering American Folkstyle and Olympic Freestyle as modern iterations of catch wrestling, it's totally compelling. It's not controversial, right? Historical lineage, shared techniques, underlying philosophy, all of them point to the catch can family with, catch can as the patriarch, right, to this family. So I would like to see, the way I've been pitching it recently is to basically say that this is competitive grappling done under professional wrestling rules. Like I said, if WWE is mimicking catch can theatrically, why don't we just to hold grappling contests under those rules. I know that's so like obvious, but it's so revolutionary. Nobody's thought about it until I started doing it with all of my help and wonderful people and support for Shoot Pro Wrestling and with the King of Catch Wrestling. I need your help, guys. So I don't want to beat a dead horse. Please, please, please get yourself to a camp, learn with the best guys, go take it back to your gym, share what you learned, become an affiliate, help us take Shoot Pro to the next level. Man, I can't tell you guys, I'm so proud of what we've done so far, and I'm so honored and grateful for all your help so far, but we ain't done. My goal is literally to help every person on the planet through scientific wrestling. I believe it's the greatest form of personal development, basic personal development to start. Gives you fitness, gives you self-defense, gives you self-esteem. It's amazing. Camaraderie, community. It's amazing. So, all right, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. Hit us up. Again, I'd love to see you in the room. CertifiedCatchWrestler.com, CoachingCatch.com. And if you want to join our affiliate program, help us on our mission, ScientificWrestler.com.